then morning. Ready to log in. We post on the Facebook. All right, we're getting there. Waiting on some of our teammates. Like to keep the engagement as high as possible. And to rest it. More. Good morning, good morning, y'all. Yeah, a few of y'all there. Good morning, Charles. Good morning, my brother from another. I'm on the road, but I'm tuning in. I truly appreciate that. I hope that you had a good first evening, try past evening. We're almost there already. We're halfway through the second day. We're halfway through the second day already. Imagine that. All we got to do is get the sun down, and we get to the most wonderful liquid again. Using the top of G, in the process of removing dead cells, burning fat, stored fats, removing waste, trying to secure the resource of oxygen. Good morning, Catherine. Good morning, Catherine. And good morning, Julia. Wonderful to see you guys here. Good morning. I'm glad you guys are up here. First thing in the morning. Absorbing something positive, consuming something nutritious. My brother Julian. I didn't know no better. How are my people doing? How are my people doing? All right. Well, we have made it halfway into the second day, ladies and gentlemen. Give yourself an applause. Give yourself an applause. Let me find the applause here. I think I got something in there that's like, there we go. There we go. So I'm glad to have you guys here. I'm glad you guys are still tuning in. I'm pretty sure a few of them listening live, and then a few of you guys are going to catch this on the back end. Grand Rising, my sisters as well. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Let's not forget the queens, Julius Collins, Beethoven, Shakespeare over there. But I see you You notice I got your brother here. I got Mr. Julian Collins. Sometimes I used to always get confused between
We
like
used to.
Julius, Julian, Julius. Which one's Julius? Which one's Julian?
It's like answer to both.
Yeah, but we do have Julian Collins in the building. Everybody, let me get that there for him. Julian Collins. Now, Julian Collins and his brother Julius Collins are a team of trainers in Chicago. They work together. They're brothers. Hey guys, you're not twins, though. No,
He's
no, they
older
kind
one.
of
I won't
sometimes
say
look like
age,
twins.
but
Yeah,
he's the older one.
yeah, yeah. You can also hashtag Collins Strong. Check that out. Now, if you hear my voice crack, you got to remember I'm in the middle of my second day fast, and this is a dry fast. So there was no food, there's no water since sundown yesterday, no liquids. So I'm a little bit hoarse, and I'll be gladly until we get to our liquids this evening. So let's talk a little bit about that before we get a little bit into Julian and his contribution to our community. Let me see. Catherine is good. I'm glad that you're here, Catherine. I'm glad you're feeling good too. Let me know how that milk came out, by the way. Let me know how the milk came out. Our dad, yes, sir. Our dad did too. Mm. What was it that I said that he said this, your dad did too?
He call us both Julian and Julius.
Oh,
And answer to both.
your dad?
The
Oh,
problem
he
you just
named
don't
you
know.
though. Well, he named you.
Well, Julian means belonging to Julius, so I gotta
Julian means belonging to Julius.
Yeah.
Dad,
My
your
dad's
brother
name
owns
was,
you.
but that was Julius Jr. My brother's the third.
Oh,
so,
okay. I was
He'll
trying
make
to.
his
I'm over here
special
trying to
partial
instigate.
ownership.
I'm trying to instigate over here. Your brother owns you. But if it, by the way, if anybody has any questions, or had any questions, or were thinking about asking a question about the process or your progress or where you're at now or where you're headed in the program, feel free to drop the question in the chat. Feel free to drop the question in the chat. In the meantime, though, I did want to formally introduce Julian Collins from Get Fit First Fitness, located on North Avenue. Is it just west of Kedzie?
Just west of Kedzie.
On the north side of the street, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, all right.
A couple buildings down from Rose.
Peace, peace, my brother. Hebrew business. Peace, peace. Yes, sir. We locked in. Feeling great. Feeling great. Feeling euphoric, actually. I'm feeling like I'm on a buzz. I'm already on the buzz because my body's is no longer operating off of what I'm consuming right now. It's operating on what's already inside of it, so I'm burning stuff. I'm feeling great. But so let's get into it though. Julian Collins. And the reason we got you guys out here, you and your brother, is because of me and my personal relationship with you guys both. In our athletic community and also in just our our um our health community. We have those things in common that trying in the process of trying to be athletes, we have to practice some healthy habits if we want to be an athlete at a high level.
Absolutely.
So we met back in our youth, your youth more than mine. But yeah, we met during what was it? It was MMA, right?
Yeah, it was in the 2000s, like 2007.
Yeah, but we met during MMA, not like karate or boxing.
No, yeah, during the MMA.
Yeah, it was
during
MMA.
the fight card days.
Yeah, it was. What was your coach's name? Josh.
So he was one of our teammates, Josh Bullock, and
Oh yeah, Josh Bullock.
Carlos Perez.
Uh-huh.
That was our head coach for Timo Comment.
Oh yeah, that was
other
with
guys
Timo
as
Comment.
helping out as well.
Do they still do something? Are they still trying to work together?
Well, I know Carlos is out in Northwest Indiana. He's doing well. still working and everything.
In the gym? Still
Um, Not 100% sure. I know, he's got a younger son that just graduated, so he's definitely been working with him with wrestling and football. And his other kids are, college and further. And then another one of our coaches during that time, Steve Kennison, was our first jujitsu coach, and he's still doing his thing. Steve is out on the south side and has an academy over there, and is still actively working.
okay. Are you still associated with people in the life that are actively uh uh competing?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we took a step back just from the transition of, after my brother left the prior facility, and then once COVID hit, we still link with a lot of different athletes, but now with our headquarters being on North Avenue, honestly, we work with athletes of all different sports that are just looking for some performance boosts, learning how to take care of their bodies better,
Oh,
whether
okay.
they're high school or professional athletes, treating your body like a professional athlete.
Okay. How do they come in contact with you guys? How do you guys meet? How do you guys make that
You
connection
know,
where that
we do a mixture of being on footwork. So, like I was telling you prior to us getting on air, Humble Park Patriots, for example, they have a practice facility right on the boulevard. And my brother's been in contact with the coach. We watch there, we chat with people there. We've done a workout in the park where we
Mhm.
link with people. We put our flag out in the center of the park, and people come by and ask. And then, of course, just the marketing and seeing us on social media, passerbys.
Mhm. Um and w- in the facility that you guys are at, what are some of the things that you guys are sharing and teaching your clientele and your supporters there?
So our approach to fitness is, it's funny. Our approach for years has been something that was kind of like a little boring to some people. Everybody was still in that go hard, let the bodies hit the floor, boot camp
Mm.
style training. And 20 years ago, that was kind of our thing. We were
Hmm.
per we we were man,
Motivated.
we were motivated, and we were also getting locked in a cage to fight. So we figured our training needed to be
Aggressive.
extreme and aggressive. And we learn now that that's just not the cup of tea nobody wants to drink. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Average person wants to get a workout in, and they got work later on, so they can't
Hmm.
go
With a
hard, go
black
hard,
eye.
go hard, and not be able to perform whatever their regular work is. So we're learning how to, well, we learned how to bring it down a little bit, condense it, make it make more sense.
Understood. And what is the average person? You said the average person just wants to a little workout. Who would be based on your experience? What would be considered the average person?
So I mean, you got a lot of people that were past athletes, and you look back in those times of when you were an athlete 20, maybe even 30 years ago, and people want to get back to a fraction of that. So getting back to a fraction of that, you got to start with the baseline, and the baseline is mobility.
Mobility.
Mobility,
Okay,
because mobility is the true strength training.
got it, got it. So we got. I would say we have quite a. We have people here who are considered average. Top of the band, top of the day, Ben. Top of the day. Good to have everybody here, especially the coaches. That's what makes me feel the best. That the leaders are here first and foremost. Um, so there's average people watching. There's going to be average people to watch and average people here. And you said, average person for the most part needs mobility. Can you give us an example of something that an average person can do in the morning? And what do they do? Activate the mobility though? Like how does that
So
work?
The first
Yeah,
things first. You pop up.
yeah. Pop up. I
Uh-huh.
want to see a demonstration. A demonstration
All
there.
right. So first things first.
Uh-huh.
Most of us just got up. Okay. So how you sleep, that'd be a whole nother podcast. You know what I mean? If you sleep here, sleep on your back, face planted in the pillow. This part of our body, head, neck, and spine, is probably all like so. Okay. So the first thing we're doing is just kind of mobilizing the head, neck, and spine. So start off, we get out of bed, or even just sitting up out of bed, just a nice little slow head, neck, and rotation, and just kind of working our way from the top down. I'll come from the top, and then I work.
Go ahead. Yeah, sure,
you
sure. Yeah.
So,
Well, I want them to walk away with something. I
Okay.
want them to tomorrow to say, "Oh, let me see how he did that. Let me start practicing and applying this small
matter
little
of fact, then
technique."
everybody get up too. Then, so I can't see you guys, but you guys can see me.
There
So
you go. Come on,
do,
guys.
do as I do this. So we all need this morning. So nice slow head, neck, and rotation. Now, depending on the time and what you have, you can do this by reps. You can do this by time. You customize it how you need. And I think the problem with people is with fitness, we all feel like we got to put everything on the plate, and you don't. Don't get full. Just have enough. And then as that becomes easy, you add a little more to it. So that was just my head, neck, and spine. Now but that was the upper part here. Maybe now I want to get all the way low. Now I just start getting a little trunk rotation. The trunk rotation is going to be key. Again, this is all for posture. It helps us breathe better.
What are you turning your hips now? Is that the
everything
difference?
from the trunk now.
Oh, so first it was just the neck. Now you're turning like the hip.
Absolutely.
But your feet, the bottom of your feet are not moving.
Nothing moving from that waist down.
Okay.
Moving from the waist down, because we are essentially isolating parts of the body so that we can really give attention to this part.
Okay.
At the hinge, same thing here. Allowing that stuff to just kind of again loosen up. And slower is better.
So you suggest that we do this in the morning time and prepare the body every morning.
Every morning.
All right.
Nice slow rotations, and then you work your way down.
Mm-hmm. And when your clients come in, that you guys come on. When your clients come in, you guys work with them on that like that?
There's not a client that walks through the doors of what we call the lab without them doing mobilization.
Nice,
that is the true strength training.
You guys work with kids as well there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Are you guys the type to like take walk-ins and people, or are you guys more like a scheduled training, more isolated? How does that work?
It's definitely more schedule based. We do have our classes where people can walk in. But essentially that was the biggest thing that my brother and I wanted to make sure that we were doing at Get Fit First, making it appointment only so that it makes it a little bit more personal and special, because I can have anybody walk in and do whatever they're doing. But then one thing that we didn't want is if I'm doing a one-on-one with you and then just random Joe guy comes in and he's grabbing the 35s and then he's dropping them, and no disrespect to like open gyms, but we just didn't want that environment.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Makes it a little bit more intimate, and it allows us to really
have a focus too.
No
one's just there doing their own thing,
Absolutely.
Everyone is under the tutelage of someone. So what's your favorite thing to teach over there?
I really, being in the industry for over 20 years, I love how the change of things have happened. Again, when I started in the MMA and stuff, or in the 2000s, everybody's training was hardcore style boot camp, sweat. And this was kind of the introduction of where HIIT started becoming very popular, and everybody just felt that's what they needed. And then, that was also at the end of where everybody wanted to get really big. So it was a lot of bulky, heavy lifting. And then as the tens moved in, people started learning like, oh man, maybe we don't have to go so like kill. and they learned how to tone down a little bit. And then people started getting a lot of injuries. Started getting a lot of injuries. And they're like, what's going on? Well, first off, nobody really takes care of their body. Nobody's mobilizing. Nobody's prepping the body for whatever you're getting ready to do.
Exactly.
If I'm lifting heavy, for example, maybe I got a heavy deadlift day, and I'm not loosening up my low back. I'm not loosening up my hammies. I'm not activating my core before I get into all that stuff. The chances of me injuring myself just keep raising each and every
Mhm.
rep, not even each and every set, each and every rep. So now, once we got into right at that like pre-COVID and pre-pandemic, pandemic, what have you, and things started shutting down, people started doing nothing but sitting back and trying to read what they could do to stay sane.
Mm.
Now, most of the stuff was a whole bunch of white noise, but somewhere in the white noise, there was actually some substance that was quality substance.
Mhm. So so again, what is your favorite thing to train?
Mobility, mobility, without a doubt.
But what technique do you use for the is it like the stretching? Would it be stretching, or do you use a specific discipline to train the mobility?
So what we use, and actually what I was doing essentially is what we call CARs. CARs stand for controlled articular rotations. Shout out to Coach Rich, Coach Nat. Those were two mobility specialists that really helped introduce my brother and I to CARs. And CARs are articular or controlled articular rotations in every joint from head to toe. So that is definitely kind of like our
Mm,
baseline on showing people how to mobilize their bodies and allow you to really perform and feel at your best.
understood. We have a question for you, Julian. It says, Julian, does this help with lumbar nerves? Can,
Absolutely. And I didn't even really get into the guts of everything, but even when the last movement that I was doing where we were hinging and rotating and everything,
yeah.
yes, that's going to help
Is it,
you loosen
can
and
you
open those
can
things
you
up.
demonstrate to relieve pain? Can you show that what you said?
Yeah,
What again?
absolutely.
One more time,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
someone
So
is.
this part here, I'll give you the side version, Catherine. So when I was doing this whole like rotation here, where I started hinging at the waist, even the one before, what that's doing is people usually have this like compacted pain in their low back and lumbar, and that's helping alleviate that pain. So for me, 12 years ago, I got hit by a CTA bus. I had two herniated discs, and I wish that I had this stuff. What it's allowing you to do is have more have more time pain free, and it also helps you identify what else may be the issue. So you might be feeling pain in your lower lumbar, but who knows? It might not be your lower lumbar. It might be tight hamstrings, and other parts of your posterior that are affecting your low lumbar.
Mm. There you go. There you go. I would try that. I would go ahead and try that little technique out, Catherine, to see if it helps a little bit. You might feel a little tension, because it is stretching, so to speak, a little bit of pressure, but never bring it to the point where you're in pain. This it's not meant to be a painful experience. It's supposed to be.
Right before the pain threshold.
Exactly. Once you feel that pressure, that stretch, so to speak. So that's good. That's good. Thank you for answering that there. So what's been going on? Do you have as far as yourself, all these years later, outside of training, um, what are you up to?
And so we'll go over the last several years. I obviously recovering from that lower lumbar injury back in 2014.
You had a lower lumbar
Oh
injury?
yeah, I got hit by a CTA bus back in 2014. It was actually it'll be 12 years next month. I was 2 weeks prior to a fight. I was actually gonna make my King of the Cage debut. I was coming home from work in between in the morning, and CTA bus went through the construction clearance, blasted me, hit another couple cars,
Wow.
and I wind up having two herniated discs, L2, L3, and L3, L4.
Wow.
So that was, that was pretty traumatic. I never really experienced any major injuries that have put me down, for a long period of time. And, you had to learn how to adapt to those moves. And, years later, we learned more stuff. I recovered slowly but surely, but that definitely was the cap to the MMA. I never went back to competing. I haven't even competed in jujitsu since then. My
Okay.
focus obviously was just recovering from the low back and just taking time away from being a performer and an athlete and competitor and taking it more to coaching. And that's where I've been this last 10 plus years. I'm a high school wrestling coach over at UIC College Prep. Shout out to my
Nice,
Firecats.
nice, nice,
And
nice.
also assistant football coach over there as well. Um, it's been keeping me busy. I love helping these young warriors find out their true purpose and know that they have a purpose. These kids come from every different walks of life, and school's great and all, but I will be biased. What I can deliver is a little different than what's in the books, and I guess I'll say the team effort of the academics over there, plus me and my coaching brothers over there, we're kind of the perfect piece, man. It's a great
Nice,
recipe to success.
nice, nice. Now, didn't you just have a cast or something on?
Yeah. So it was last week marked the year I tore my ACL. So during that time frame of coaching, I'm still a kid at heart, man. So I'm out
Okay.
there doing some of the drills, and I thought I was Lamar Jackson out there making a quick move, and I made a quick move, and I heard a loud pop, and you just saw me dive, and 2 seconds later, my knee was about the size of my head with a heartbeat, and
You skedaddled when you should have skeet. That's
so
crazy.
little did I know, I ruptured my ACL all the way up to the femur. So I had surgery September 4th. They told me I was going to be sidelined. I told them I'd be back at the game the next day, and I was.
Mm.
They, told me how long it would take, and obviously a lot of PT. 5 weeks later, I found out I had a staph infection. And the staph infection, it was a lot more serious than I thought. For weeks I was walking around with these bumps that looked like just, hair bumps from shaving. And, next thing I knew, I talked to my wife's cousin, and she was like, man, you need to go to the ER. This was on my birthday. So on my birthday, we're like, oh man, I wanted to go get something to eat real quick and maybe have a cocktail. And instead, I got admitted into the ER, and I was there for 6 days. And
Wow.
I left out having a second surgery. They had to remove that screw. And I had the PICC line in my arm, and I had it in from Halloween to about the week before Christmas.
Wow.
And through that time, I didn't want to stop anything. So I finished up coaching. So I was there every day with my kids coaching. We went, had a successful season, didn't get to as far as we wanted, but we had a successful season. We jumped right into wrestling. Wrestling was a great season. We won our Noble Conference for a second time, back-to-back Noble champs for wrestling.
Nice.
Won our CPL conference. It was our second year in the CPL conference, and the first Noble team to win a CPL conference. So we had a nice, long, extensive, successful wrestling season with a regional champion and a very competitive. Man, we these kids did it, and we do it with little resources. Most of my kids are not experienced wrestling, and they're dogs, man. They're dogs. They are the future to what we really want in the world, the real true leaders of tomorrow. So nothing stopped. I got married during that time.
Nice. Congratulations.
And having a wedding reception, my son graduated, my stepdaughter graduating, graduation parties, nothing could stop because I just didn't want the music to stop. What I mean? Throughout that time, I was still recovering and everything. And,
So
blessings to God. Here we are right now.
so before you got hurt, did you mobilize first?
The answer is no, and that's what happens.
Hold on, you've been set
Oh, I
up.
didn't even see who
You've
asked.
been
We wouldn't
set
even
up.
need to
That was
answer that question from that
you've
guy.
been set up.
What a setup.
You've been set up.
Block
You've been
that
set up.
guy.
Good morning, Anita. Good morning. Glad to have y'all here. I'm glad that we got the viewers in and everyone staying plugged in and staying tuned in because that's what's important. We're already halfway through day 2. We slept half the night away. We slept the night away. That was half the battle. All we have to do is make it to sundown to our sweet liquids. I would suggest also keep in mind, let's get a little bit technical based on the program real quick. Make sure that when you're done with the fast this evening at sundown, when you begin some liquids, don't run into any food. We're not eating food today. We're drinking liquids. We're gonna allow our bodies to hydrate. Um, I wouldn't suggest drinking tea tonight either. Because you went through the day during a dry fast, you're a bit dehydrated. Tea is a diuretic. It's going to go in and out, and it's probably going to dehydrate you just a little bit more. I would focus on spring water or electrolytes this evening. So, and I would always sip slow too. Don't drink too much water at one time and too many liquids at one time. Don't sit there chugging a gallon of something. Just kind of sip your way in, sip your way in, sip your way into hydration until because tonight you're gonna feel better than you did last night. Because at least tonight you're gonna be able to go to bed completely hydrated how you want to, versus last night you have to cut the water off at a certain time. Coconut water is suggested, yes sir. Julius, coconut water is suggested. I would not suggest any juicing. I would do either spring water or coconut water at this stage. Spring water or coconut water at this stage. And then tomorrow we get back into the regimen. We'll start our day with liquids until 12 o'clock, starting with spring water. And then we'll move into the antioxidity of the herbs. And then we'll move into more electrolytes and we'll have that song and dance throughout the day as needed. So when you feel like you need like you need something substantial, you drink the tea for the mineral intake. When you feel like you just need a little bit of energy, you drink the electrolytes. When you just need a little hydration, you drink the water. Okay, and then you'll have that song and dance throughout the day while we work our way into these smoothies day after that. Okay, on day 4. So keep that in mind. I'm glad that you guys are coming out. I've been getting questions and answering questions. Also, holding myself accountable. I took a picture of my scale this morning and the difference is already significant. I lost over 3 pounds in one full day of water fasting. So I was also hydrated with water when I checked that. So if I allow myself to dehydrate a bit, I'm pretty sure that by tomorrow morning, I'll probably lose somewhere between 5 and 6 pounds personally. Uh, and that's just, I'm not over exalting myself. Exhausting myself. I'm not doing too much. I'm just kind of chilling out and keeping my mouth closed. It says, Julian, need business location, interested to know more about lumbar training. Catherine, we will definitely get that to you. But do you have the address? Can you shout it out so that
Absolutely.
for the playback?
So, Catherine, it's 3258 West North Avenue, and that is just west of Kedzie. I can also give you our website as well, and that'll literally give you the rundown of everything that we have to offer from classes. You can hit the comment tab and literally say, hey, you met us at the...
What's the website?
It's www.getfitfirst, GETFIT, the number 1, ST, Chicago.com. And the website will give you a full rundown, who we are, what we offer, classes, the whole 9. And please put something in the comments. Just let us know that we were talking through the podcast, and I'd love to answer any questions you have.
Let's check this out. And this is who is this here? This is you.
That's my brother.
And your brother Julius.
Yes,
Just
sir.
for the audience, this is Julius. This is the website. As you can see, getfitfirstchicago.com. And you guys come over to the website, check them out, see some of the stuff that they're doing here. All right. This is what I call average. An average team of people here.
Our everyday people, man. Our everyday people. Everybody loves to hear what we do for performance with our athletes, but people want to know what we do for the everyday. My people that are going to work every day, hey, like to go for long walks, want to go on a hike, want to just be fit to live.
All right, all right. So, Catherine, you left that information there, um, so you guys can contact him and them. I believe I gotta double check. I might have your brother tomorrow, or I might have another brother of mine. But I'm glad to have you guys here. So your kids do any fighting?
My youngest, he got his black belt under my brother, just like I did. Our Taekwondo black belts. Julian wrestled throughout high school. Uh, Shout out to my young man. He's on his way. He'll be on his way to University of Wisconsin this Sunday. He's young Badger.
Mm.
We showed the kids the way, man. My oldest son, being an athlete, and honestly, before he left out his freshman year, I was like, hey, man, you ever get into a fight? What are you gonna do if somebody want to fight you? So and so and so. Okay, well, what are you gonna do? Tell me. Show me. What do you mean show me? Like, show me, man. I'm okay. So we had to see what we can, what you knew. And from there, I didn't go through the whole book with him, but just a little basic piece. And then of course, the ultimate skill set in fighting, being able to being able to control if you really need to fight or not.
I would agree. For me, the ultimate skill set in fighting is avoiding the fight.
And I didn't learn that until later.
Me neither. Me neither. I thought the more fights I had, the
better we be.
the smarter I'd get. But that didn't work out. But that's good. That sounds good. Let's see. What do you guys still have, like that dungeon room over there?
In the lab,
Yeah.
man, we got that, and that's actually what we call it. So we have 2 floors at
Yeah,
Get Fit First.
it looks intimidating.
So what you guys will see mostly in a lot of the pictures, it's a 15-yard set of turf, 15 yards by 5 yards wide. That part on the first floor we call the lab, and what Franco is referring to with the dungeon. We have a downstairs basement with heavy bag and a water bag. And that is what we call the dungeon, where, you get in there and you get the rounds in on the bag.
Let your frustration out down there.
Let it loose. Let it loose.
Okay, mobility over. And now it's time to apply pressure.
Yes, sir.
Good. How I'm assuming people in the chat that you guys are regularly active. If not, let's find a way
to change that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's find a way to keep it moving, because as science supports that the body in motion tends to stay in motion, and the body at rest tends to stay at rest. So the longer you do nothing, the easier it is to do nothing, and the harder it is to overcome doing nothing. But the more you do something, the easier it is to do something, and the farther you'll get doing it. So keep that in mind. You can't just be idle. You can't just be still. You have to move your body. Like they call it the mobility workshop. Is that what you called it? The mobility
monthly
workshop?
Mobility workshops. And, essentially, and I know if Catherine, if you're still on, and everyone else, once a month, we'll do a 2-hour workshop. And my brother and I literally go from top to bottom with all of our mobility work, throwing some little spurts here where, him and I, we try not to get off track, where, certain joints where we're like, oh, if we're doing some hip work, we'll be like, oh, well, let me show you this. We try to stay like on point where we are working from top to bottom, and we give you 1 to 2 different movements with every different part of your muscle joints, because again, strengthening the joints is the foundation to strengthening your muscles and tendons and everything else that everyone else refers to. And if you guys are here tuning in, I know we've been saying average, but we're far from average, because
I agree.
average people don't do this. You guys
Right.
aren't, they're not tuning in. They're not engaging in the necessities. And they're looking for the quick fix. And we all know that if it's something that we want, it's not gonna be quick. As the old saying of Rome wasn't built in a day, but I never been to Rome, but Chicago wasn't built in a day.
Hmm.
So, us Chicagoans, man, we're hard workers, and we should, we understand that if it's something good, it's gonna take time, and this stuff you gotta let it brew. But to let it brew, you're doing your mobility work. Get up in the morning, dedicate 10 minutes of the day to it, because you have it. Because there's so many other things that you're doing. And if you take a fraction from all those things that aren't as necessary as this, and then you put this into your daily routine, and then you put it into your daily routine where it becomes just like you're speaking, like you're tying your shoe, then you can start adding a little more. And I think everybody has the problem with fitness is when we get into it, we want to get everything. You're getting everything, and you want to do it all in one workout every day. And then at the end of the week, you want to come out and be at your goal. And this never will ever happen.
Mm.
It'll never happen. You're going to have days that you're going to miss. You're going to have days that you don't want to do it. You're going to have days that you do it and you don't feel like it did anything. And that's okay. That's what we call the process, and you have to trust it.
Hmm. Should you mentally work past days that you don't want to physically accomplish what you committed to?
That's the you versus you. So honestly, your best thing is understanding that when you walk in the door, and my brother and I say this, and I know Cass says it as well. Cass is another one of our fitness coaches. Um, when you walk in the door, that's going to tell me what we're going to do today. I can assess that, because I don't. Long ago, you see these fitness coaches come in with these like novels of workouts. And, oh, this guy, I got this workout for him, and he's got this heavy leg workout, and this hit workout that he has planned for him. And then guy walks in, and I'm like, "Hey, John, how's your day?" Well, I was up until 3 a.m. My wife left me. I lost my job, and I drank about a fifth of Jack. But I'm ready to work out today.
Wow.
Well, the hit workout's probably not going to be in. That long, heavy leg workout's not going to be in. We gotta change the trajectory of our workout. And that's important, because how you walk in that day.
But is that like enabling as well, though? It's like, oh, you went through all that. Oh, well, just lay down and just lift your arms for a minute. Like,
I won't go that
are you
sensitive.
going to enable them now? Are you going to be like, you know what? You knew you were supposed to be here. You wanted to be, irresponsible. So now you're going to have to suffer the consequence.
Slightly. I mean, my favorite 2 words. It depends. It depends.
It all depends.
As we're mobilizing, I can get into the groove, because I get to see how you're doing. Like,
yes,
he's
sir.
Mobilizing, and he's moving and grooving. All right, well, that did sound like a little rough day. Maybe he does need to go to the dungeon and let out a little bit.
Yes, sir. Big homie Europe. Yeah, big homie Europe. Hebrew business. Good to have you here, my brother. I think we get in tune tomorrow evening, so I'm looking forward to our podcast tomorrow evening. Big homie Europe. Ben, yes, keep it moving, keeps you moving. Motion is the potion. Motion is the potion. And Julius, you did confirm Julius, his brother, will be here on Thursday. So Julius will definitely bring some tips with him as well. So it's 8:45 here. I don't want to hold you too long, because we all, this is just a quick Motivation Monday. But if you could leave, the guest here with something to take home with today, just something small, some words of encouragement or some words of caution or whatever, what would it be for
We live in the fast lane sometimes, and man, as they say, speed kills. We got a lot of life to live, and we want to live more. Slow and steady wins the race. Look at where we are right now. You guys are tuning in. We're in a zone, and you guys have to allow yourself to be in that tunnel vision. And sometimes we think being selfish is a wrong thing. But if you're being selfish for your health, that's okay. Because being selfish for your health allows you to be here longer and allows you to be here for those people that you want to see or those people that need you to be around. So you have to be selfish to get the results that you need. So by all means, take this all in, share it with those that are like you, share it with those that want to get better. That's our main goal. We're trying to spread the word, good word. We've been told so many things for so long, and then we find out that they are complete bullshit. So we're finding these things out now, and we don't have to shout to the world. Sometimes being the loudest person in the room is the worst thing. Let's work. We're working in silence, but our army's growing.
Mm.
We're working in silence, but our army's growing. Continue to tune in each and every day. Blessings to you, Franco. You guys, man, I've known him for 20 years, and we started off where we were, what we call the tough business, man, the hurt business. We
Yes,
were
sir.
punching and kicking people's faces in every day, and hanging out after, and now we're at a spot where, man, we're trying to add years to the life clock. So continue to stay in and tune in here. Please follow us at Get Fit First. We're on all the social media. You can hit us up on our personal. Mine is JC Get Fit First. Ask questions. That's what we're here for. That's what our platform's for. We want to educate, we want to motivate, and we want to stay on this planet longer.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us here this morning, for sharing, because sharing is caring. Thank you guys, everybody, for tuning in today. Since we got this together, fasting family. Absolutely. Again, we're halfway through the second day already, y'all. We slept through the first portion of the dry fast. That was the moment that we were sleeping. So we're already halfway through. Fret not. Don't panic. Keep it smooth today. Relax today. Do what's necessary. Say what's necessary. Exhort only what needs to be exhorted today. While we put ourselves in a better position tomorrow to do a little bit more and to start building our bodies up and building nutrition and using different natural products to do that. So I'm glad that everybody is here, everybody showed up. I was excited for my guest. I think you did a great job, by the way. Thank you for sharing what you shared
Appreciate
with
you, brother.
everyone here, and also the techniques and all of that. That was very important for people, not just to hear it, but to see it, and to get the answers for their of the questions that they asked. Yes, sir, big homie. You ever said be a light to the world? Yes, sir. Somebody got to
Absolutely,
lead the
brother.
way, bro. Somebody got to lead the way, y'all. Like Ben said yesterday, this is a leadership conference over here. Everybody over here is part of some type of leadership. Everybody over here is part of some type of motivating force.
True power team.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we rely on each other. If you guys have questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out. You can give us a call today or send me an email, and we'll go ahead and reply with that. But if nothing else, I just want to let you, to remind you to stay steadfast today. Today is the most important amount of progress you can make, because it's the only progress you have today. This is all you got right now. Do what's in front of you right now and make it to the finish line today. I feel great, not just because my body is feeling better already, but because my mind is withstanding the mental pressure that I'm putting on myself. My mind is withstanding the mental cleverness that, that I often used to use to lie to myself. You're the coach. You can go ahead and just do this. You're Chef Solomon. No one's gonna know. No one's gonna
You
know.
are.
But I'm gonna know. But I'm gonna know. And then when I'm here in front of you guys, showing myself accountable, I can't speak with the confidence and the conviction that I'm supposed to, because there'll be a thing called guilt and shame. And I would prefer to live my life without the guilt and without the shame. So I'm just going to
Amen.
do what we have to do. And I would rather move forward with confidence and conviction. And I would suggest that you guys do the same. Move forward today with confidence and conviction. Okay? Confidence and conviction. We said we're doing what we're doing because we said we was going to do it, and there's nothing else to say about it. We just have to do what we have to do. And that's it. Shalom, shalom. Peace out. I will see y'all tomorrow, 8 a.m. You know how to reach out to us here. Thank you again,
Blessings,
my
man.
brother. Yes, sir.
Blessings, brother.